Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the founder of CSTGIA, bringing you week 15, the future of cyber strategy from technical defense to strategic foresight. And this is a series called Cyber Resilience, Protecting What Matters in 2025. Today's discussion focuses on Cyber Strategy 2030, future-proofing through foresight. And the first area we look at is in cyber, what's changing between 2025 and 2030? AI-driven threats are evolving faster than controls. Quantum computing is reshaping encryption. Deepfake and neuromanipulation causes fraud escalation. And workforce shortages deepen without inclusive pipeline strategies. So we must consider what's already here. And that's really where we look at the fact that tactical responses are no longer enough. We need strategic foresight. Foresight is the ability to scan what's ahead and make today's decisions with tomorrow in mind. What else is already here and changing? So AI is writing phishing emails and launching voice cloned attacks. Quantum computing is already on the verge of breaking through modern encryption. Deepfake deception has become scalable. And human behavior remains the top vulnerability and the top defense. So our strategy must evolve in response into one that is mission aligned, adaptive, and anticipatory. So when we look at strategic foresight versus traditional cyber planning, we need to look at what we're doing in each area. So traditional planning might be something like static controls, annual audits, tool-based defense, tech-only focus. But if we were to move to a place of strategic cyber foresight, we would be looking at and implementing adaptive risk models, continuous scenario simulations, mission-aligned digital resilience, and human-centered interdisciplinary cybersecurity offense and defense. And so our takeaway is that future resilience requires strategy that ultimately blends technology, people, and policy. So we need to move again from reactive to resilience. And our foresight framework can include anticipation. We want to anticipate threats by using horizon scanning, simulations, and threat modeling. We need to align. We need to tie our cyber strategy to our business goals, mission, and values. We need to adapt and update continuously our cybersecurity programs based on signals, not just breaches. And then we need to advance by training our cyber leaders with ethical, behavioral, and policy insights, not just technical skills. So this approach doesn't just protect, it empowers greater success across our organization. So what are 5 foresight priorities for 2025 to 2030? And that would be quantum readiness. Again, we talked about it before, but we need to begin our transition to post-quantum cryptography. We need to be hardening our AI governance, or at least building it out with the global footprint in mind, integrating ethical frameworks for automated decision-making. We need to implement behavioral security, invest in digital wellness, neuroprivacy, and workforce behavior analysis. We need to collaborate on the global threat intelligence level by joining cross-sector sharing platforms. And we need to develop our cyber leadership cadres at every single level of our organizations. We want to build cyber literate leaders and thought leaders and innovators, not just technicians. Our takeaway is that cyber resilience is a leadership imperative, not just a technical function. So what do we do to move this forward? And so when we look at our cyber foresight action plan, we need to conduct a future threat horizon exercise with your cross-functional team. We need to align our cyber strategy with our organizational mission and 1, 3, and 5-year visions and strategic plans. We need to launch a cyber resilient foresight lab. Some internal, call it Tiger team, dedicated to exploring future scenarios. And we need to invest in adaptive learning systems and predictive AI tools. So the cyber leaders of the futures aren't just technologists, they're translators, communicators, and strategists. We must train our digital foresight teams. We must integrate AI in human decision-making. We must prioritize ethical AI governance, and we must foster cross-functional collaboration between IT, legal, policy, HR, engineering, and operations. So our challenge for you is, can your organization today detect a threat it hasn't yet seen? So our call today is one to reimagine, because cybersecurity isn't just about protecting assets. It's about enabling a secure future to thrive. We want you to use foresight to lead proactively, not just respond reactively. This is Cyber Culture 2.0, where everyone plays a role in resistance. So here's your foresight challenge for the week. Choose one emerging technology: AI, quantum, neurotech, or XR. Conduct a future shock audit. I know this is week 2 where we're focusing on that, but we're doing that because this is hugely important. What new risks will this introduce, or your strategic portfolio as you operationalize your products and services? What new risks will they introduce in 1, 3, or 5 years? You can do an environmental scan. You can use AI. You can harness the intelligence and thought leadership of your teams, your clients, and your partners. Again, you can convene a mini foresight team. Make it cross-functional, but most of all, how can you move to a place of proactive readiness? And then last but not least is map one plausible scenario and use that to identify your organization's blind spots to build on going forward. The goal, not perfection, but rather preparedness. So again, cybersecurity is no longer just a technical issue. It's a strategic mandate. The future won't wait, so let's lead it cyber-wise. Protect what matters today, anticipate what's coming tomorrow, and together let's build a more resilient, secure, and ethical digital future. Join us on our CSTGIA YouTube channel, Facebook, and LinkedIn pages, and give us your response to our future threat horizon exercise, because again, you need to use foresight to lead, not just respond. Again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the founder of CSTGIA, inviting you to engage with us on our channels, and we'll join you next week for another cybersecurity session.